And we're live. Awesome. Hello, everyone. So excited to have you here. Welcome. I'm Ilya, and I'm excited to be joined today by the 1,000th VanHacker hire, Siri. So, hi, Siri.
Hi.
Great. So before we get started, as always, let's do a quick sound check. Everybody, we have some great folks here from all over the world. It's nice to see everyone in the chat. If you can just say that it's working, can you hear us? Give us a thumbs up. Please let us know. And then we'll get into a really exciting conversation. There's always a delay on this, so it'll nice and clear. Okay, thanks, Najib. Awesome. Cool. Great, Varun. Thank you for the thumbs up, and I think we're good to go. So yeah, let's dive in, Siri. I guess first off, please introduce yourself. Who are you? Where are you from? What do you do? So just everyone knows who you are, and then we can get into how you got hired in Canada.
Sure. Okay. A little bit about me. I'm Siri. I'm an experienced software engineer. My primary expertise is in front-end development. I was previously working in California, United States, and recently I moved to Vancouver, Canada, after getting a job through VanHack. So yeah, that's a bit about me.
Nice. Okay, well, do you mind maybe a little bit more details about the tech stack? Like, do you work with React, like JavaScript?
Yeah. My tech stack is React.js, JavaScript. Slowly, I'm learning more on the backend side, the Python and Django framework. So those are my primary expertise.
Cool. And you said something interesting there. So you had moved from India to the US, and then you decided to move from the US to Canada. I think we should start off with that, because that's kind of a unique model. A lot of people don't relocate twice. And so can you walk us through a little bit of that story of how did you get to the US and then why come to Canada?
Yeah, so I'll break down. So I actually, the way I moved to US is actually I got married and I moved with my husband to US. And then I was there in US for around a year or two. Then I started doing my master's there. And after that, 2 years after my master's, studying in US, I was doing the job. And then I was exploring more opportunities, and me and my husband kind of took a step back and thought maybe we should move to Canada. Being in the neighboring country, we always heard great things about Canada, like how multicultural and diverse it is, the tech scene over there, as well as how open or clear the immigration system is. That is what kind of pushed me to move from US to Canada and look for jobs over there. So to give an bird's eye view, I stayed in US for around 6 years, and then I wanted to move to Canada. So yeah, that's my journey.
Nice. Okay, cool. Well, we're happy to have you here. So welcome again. You arrived pretty recently, right? So we'll get into more details of the relocation soon. But just so everyone knows, you just arrived in Canada less than a month, right?
Yes, it's just been 3 weeks now.
Wow, awesome. Cool. Okay, well let's go a little bit back in time. So you're living in the US. You're in California, right?
Yeah, so when I was in US, after doing my master's, I was doing internships. So everywhere I have moved a lot of places. So I had to do a long distance relationship with my husband because of the jobs. I used to be in different city than him. And I just wanted to stop that.
Yeah, I did long distance before too. Not fun, so I understand.
Yeah.
Cool. So were you both in different cities in the US, and now you're in the same city in Canada? Is that what happened?
Yes, exactly.
Oh, that's so nice. It's a love story too, reuniting.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. That's nice. I didn't know that. Awesome. Well, okay. So how did you hear about VanHack? You're living in the US, you want to move to Canada. What happened that you were, did a friend tell you about us, or Did you find us on Google? Or what did you hear? And also, please tell me, what did you think of VanHack when you first joined?
Sure. So yeah, it's a very interesting story. So once I decided I wanted to explore jobs in Canada, as any other person, I was looking at LinkedIn. I was reaching out to a lot of recruiters or the companies in Canada, but turnaround rate was really less. Not many people used to respond back, or the recruiters used to respond back, and most of the often I used to get this response is that since you're not in Canada, we might not interview you.
Right.
That's the response I was getting. But I still tried to add a lot of recruiters in my network, in my LinkedIn network. And one day, suddenly in my LinkedIn dashboard, a post from VanHack showed up. I don't know how, but maybe I have added so many people in my network because of that. Someone shared or liked it, showed up in my profile. So I was so the post was like, someone got hired in Canada, so and so person. So the first step I did is I started Googling what is this VanHack, and the name was also very similar to the city I was looking for jobs, Vancouver. So I thought maybe something is there. So I did a quick research, and I also looked some videos in YouTube. And then I found like, okay, this seems like something I can give it a try at least. All I wanted to make sure is like, is there like no money involved or anything like that. And then I went to their website and signed up, and I saw like, I just wanted to give it a try, and it worked. I was a little skeptical at first because it was not recommended by anyone. I just got a post, but my part of search, and yeah, it seemed very straightforward. So I wanted to give it a try.
That's really cool. Yeah, the LinkedIn algorithm changing lives, or maybe the combination of the two. Yeah, cool. So there's a lot there. You mentioned you were skeptical at first, and I think that's something that a lot of people, maybe not people here in the webinar, because you guys are part of our community, but maybe people watching this on YouTube, because you said you watch the YouTube videos, and now this video is going to be on YouTube. So if anyone's watching this on YouTube, maybe you also could be on a YouTube video. Yeah. Success case. Anyway, you can I lost my train of thought. So you were skeptical, like, and it makes sense, right? Like, it's kind of a unique thing. So was there any kind of moment where you felt like, okay, maybe this is real? Like, what kind of made you change your mind from this is kind of, oh, I don't know, to, oh, hey, there's something here?
Yeah. So since when I saw, and I was a little bit comfortable, since there were no monetary initially involved, and I did sign up. After that, I was actually added to a lot of Slack groups. That's when I realized, okay, this is legit, because a lot of people were in there, and everyone were communicating about the jobs. And it was a platform where like I could have reached to anyone and asked like, why are you here? What are you doing? What is the process? How does this exactly work?
Yeah.
So now I got to know more about VanHack. And then that basically gave me some sort of confidence. Having that community or the group helped me to give some sense of calmness that okay, I'm in a good or a better place.
That's really cool to hear. I'm guessing everyone here who's on the webinar is a part of the VanHack Slack, but if you're not, make sure to join. If you just go to your VanHack dashboard, there's a Slack button on the top right, so it's free. You can join. Meet a lot of other people like Siri and thousands of other VanHackers looking to get hired, and all your questions will be answered. I'm in there too, chatting with everyone. Yeah, cool. That's really nice. And just one thing you mentioned about is money. I think it's important to talk about this because a lot of people, they talk about like, getting like there's programs that charge you, right? So hey, here's money, and then we get you a job, right? So VanHack doesn't do that, but we do have a paid group called the Premium Academy,
yes.
Which I know you were part of, right? So I just want to make sure, like, you joined that not because you wanted to do jobs, but because you wanted training. Can you talk about your experience with the Premium Academy and how that helped you?
Yeah. Prior to that, I want to give a little bit context about why I was talking about the money. So since I was in US, a lot of consultancies are there who take upfront money and work to get a job and all. I just didn't want to go through that route. So that is what I was trying to confirm with VanHack, and I got my answer pretty soon that nothing is involved like that. And then regarding the premium option, so once I was part of VanHack, it after a month or two after my profile was created, I was getting good scores and everything, which we can deep dive later. So I actually got to know about premium only after being part of VanHack.
Yes.
I was not even aware about it, or no one really promoted it. And even in that Slack community which I was talking, everyone were like, let's try this. If needed, we can go for premium. So at that point, what was happening is I was also part in other organizations in United States which used to take some annual fee, like a subscription. So I was pretty open. Okay, I looked at the premium page and the cost. It was around $60 or so, which was very nominal for a premium and amount. So I thought let me give this a try as well. And even in that state, no one kind of pushed me or encouraged me, this is the only way you can get a job or anything. It was very open. I was given clear information that if you are a premium member, these are the additional stuffs you would be getting, for example, courses or training or material, as well as one-on-one consultation. So I was pretty impressed by that, and I wanted to give it a try. And I did. I was part of the premium group, and immediately I saw a way more involved conversation.
Yeah, and I think it's important for us. For us, premium, it's actually how we started. It's VanHack started as an online school to teach developers soft skills or tech talent soft skills, and we really like to say that we're a community of school first. And if you don't want to join premium, it's not going to make a difference at all in your job applications. It's just going to make a difference, hopefully, in your preparedness or preparation, confidence to get hired. So just for everyone to know, a lot of people ask, if I pay premium as my job, am I going to get higher in the application? No, there's no difference at all. But you will have 32 hours of English interview practice and a lot more coaching, things like that. So the link's there, guys. If you want to join. If you don't like it, you can get your money back. We really, our business model is to make money with the companies. And we want to be here to help you. So I just wanted to underscore that part. That's really cool. One quick question that came in. How long did it take you to get hired? You joined VanHack and then you were hired in how many months or days?
It was 3 months.
3 months. Wow.
I think people can get hired even less than that. I can tell why it took 3 months. So the reason is initially I started with normal member, right? A VanHack member. And in that first month, I was building my profile, giving exam. And then second month, I actually got an offer, but it didn't work out for me, location wise and all. And then in the third month, I got another offer, which totally worked for me. Nice. So because of that, it took 3 months. But if I would have been a part of premium, I would believe within a month or so, I would have got what I was looking for.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say this is a rule for everyone, right? Because everyone's different. It's so many variables, but just for people to see that it's possible. There's actually someone, you're reminding Siri of someone who got hired. I believe she got hired 1 week after joining VanHack, which was probably a record. Monica, she's now living in Toronto, but yeah, it's kind of a crazy, sometimes it takes 1 week, sometimes it takes 1 year. It's a journey for everybody, but you're sitting here and it's proof. So Abdul, just want to say thank you, Abdul, for the nice words about the webinar. Vijay is saying congrats to you. Fernando, that was fast. Hey, Fernanda. Fernanda's here from our team. Yeah. So that's really great stuff. So you talked a little bit about profile and getting your exams. Let's talk about that, because a lot of VanHackers, they say, oh, I don't have I apply to jobs, but I'm not getting called back. Like, what's wrong? And usually when I check their profile, there's a lot of things that are missing or incorrect. And we're trying to, hard to explain to everyone exactly what to do. So could you talk a little bit about how your profile was, the coding test, the English verification, those kind of things?
Yeah. So one thing related to the experience, since I had experience in India as well as in United States, that kind of stood out. One thing, and so initially the process, how it worked is like when I went to the VanHack website, we have to create our own profile, which did two things. One is the coding test and another is the English verification test. So the coding test would be based on the background. So in my case, it was front-end development, building an application, a sort of thing. What was like people from, let's say, from Java or other background will get similar kind of coding challenge. So related to the coding challenge, it was like a certain amount of time was given for me, like around a week to finish that. So I finished that as well as my English verification test, and actually I scored really well in that. And that kind of pushed my profile up so that a lot of recruiters got attraction towards it. So I would highly recommend people to make sure to give that test really well and get good score. That would be one. And the second is while creating your profile, when you add all your experience, make sure like you add what tech stack you worked on, what was the what did you really bring to the company while working over there. I think those were like the only two things which I did to really build and make my profile strong.
Nice. I mean, it is pretty straightforward, right? Like verifying your English, it takes 10-15 minutes. By the way, if anyone here has not verified their English yet, it really is not that hard. If you can speak English normally, you'll be fine. And also, it's a really nice way for you to present yourself to companies, because companies are able to watch the videos too. So make sure you do that. It makes a huge difference. A lot of times companies, if you don't have videos on your profile, they just won't even like interview you. Bright just says, I've always procrastinated. Maybe I will finish my profile this weekend.
Also, I think you get like a couple of chances also to record your video. So don't just worry if first time didn't work out. You can still re-record it and still put it out there.
That's right. Exactly. Great point, Siri. And for sure, the coding challenge it makes a big difference too. So if you can take that, so just follow those, and it'll help you. You mentioned you had some offers before VanHack, and you had some interviews, right? So like you joined, you applied. How was like the one thing that we kind of maybe don't say enough is like the mock interview, the interview preparation. Like how was that support? Because I know you had the premium, but even without that, we give people mock interview or interview prep. Can you talk about that call and how it helped?
Yeah, for me, so the mock interviews are again divided into two parts. One is like the skill, like communication skills. That is one part, and the second is the technical skills. So unfortunately, because I was working, I was not able to really make the most of the technical skill part, but I was still able to get those resources, and whenever I was available, I was going through that, and it was still helpful for me. But the place where I took most of the advantage is to really understand what kind of questions the interviewer would ask in your first round or the initial round. How should I introduce my background, or few of the questions like why do you want to really look for a job in Canada? You are in United States. Those were like one of my challenging questions. So these mock interviews really helped me, and they were like one-on-one, not like in a group that you are really not given focus on. So since it is one-on-one, I would get feedbacks, and those sessions would also be recorded. I can revisit it and see how did I really answer those. So those were really helpful for me.
Nice. That's awesome. I'm glad it was helpful. And then how about like the actual job that helped you get hired, or that you got hired at? Sorry. Like you got hired through a recruiting fair or a tech event. So let's talk about the event, how that was, and also like how was the interview process with the company.
Yeah. So one thing I want to just put it out is like at VanHack, there are so many webinars and so many events, recruiting events happen. So one thing which I had a FOMO is like maybe I'm missing out a lot, but I'm just letting people know like they always keep recruiting events on, and people can make the most of it. But just to go to that step, if your profile is ready, you're good to go. So make sure the profile is ready. So coming to my case, what happened was it was a virtual recruiting event. So how did the event go is like, the platform used to actually assign randomly with the companies with people.
Yeah.
Like, that is how it was. It was like an hour session where like the platform randomly picks you and meets you with a employee from that company or someone who represents that company.
Right.
So in my event, there were like around 15 companies there. Within the 1 hour, I was able to actually meet with 7 companies and have a chat with them. It was very quick. It was just like 5 minutes or 7 minutes. You give a quick intro and talk to the employee, and then ask like, is there any available positions or not? In my case, what happened is all those 7 didn't work out. But what I did is like, I got the list of all of the companies, and for each company, I was taking down the name who was representing them. So after the event was done, I actually looked through the missing companies which I didn't get a chance to talk to, and I reached out to them through LinkedIn saying that, hey, I see you were in VanHack event, but I was not able to connect with you. I would love to kind of have a meeting with you and talk more. This is what I'm doing, and this is the job I'm looking for. That's how I actually got my job.
Nice. So you didn't actually connect with the company, you connected with them afterwards.
Yes.
Because of your proactivity. That's great. No, I love it. That's the attitude. I think a lot of people, they sit and wait. They have this mentality in life, or, when job hunting, let's just talk about jobs. It's going to fall in their lap. A job is, going to appear magically. Here's a job offer for you. But
one thing is like, for sure, as soon as I emailed them, the reason them to respond back is because they also felt the same, that they were missing. They also didn't get the chance to meet to all the candidates. So as soon as I said like, I was part of this VanHack hiring event and I got to know information from there, they were very quick to respond to me.
Yeah, because I think they understand that you're like a vetted candidate. We that someone's serious, that's really, really cool. So how was the job interview then afterwards? You reached out to the company. You said, hey, I'm interested. They set up job interviews. Tell us about kind of questions they asked. How did you feel, etc.
Yeah. So after that, I had like a lot of rounds with the company. Like I would say like 4 rounds. Including the technical and like all the managerial side of it. So actually from there, they took it off. So how many loops they wanted to have, they did. So one was like the first interview, which was to whom I reached out. So he was the first person who wanted to know my background, my history, why I'm looking for a job, what kind of role I'm looking for. Once he found that like, I'm a good fit, and he was really, really impressed, and he kind of added like another interview loop with another person, after like a day or so. So and then from there I kicked off with a technical assessment. I got like 2 days per se to finish my technical assessment. I did that as well. Not 2 days. It was actually a 3 hours technical assessment. Actually, not 2 days. It was 3 hour technical assessment.
But you had 2 days to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, not exactly 2 days. I asked them few more hours because I wanted to do a little bit more than what they asked. So I took
Okay.
more time.
Cool.
But I was always staying in touch with them, communicating with them. What is the next process? Where am I? What else they are looking from me? So that's how it went on. So the technical assessment was done. They were really impressed with that again, and I got very quick feedback about it. And then the next step was to meet with the CEO of the company. So there were two people. I met with them, and then last round was like meet with the engineering team to understand how the dynamics is there. So I met with them, and then I got the offer.
Nice. And how was that feeling when you got the offer?
Yeah, I was pretty shocked. I'm like, is this really happening? Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Did you jump up and down? And how was it?
Yeah, I mean, I was pretty happy because during this process already my husband got a job in Vancouver. So I was like, okay, finally we are able to do that like in one city. So I was really happy. And at that point I was like, oh my God, VanHack really worked for me. So yeah.
Awesome. Cool. Well, yeah, it's always our favorite moments when VanHackers get hired, and I love hearing these stories. So thanks for sharing that. Cool. Some questions here. How many years of experience do you have? Do you want to just?
Yeah, I have like 5+ years of experience, including as I said, in India. I was working from 2012, but in the middle I had like a year gap because I was moving from India to United States and I was not having the valid visa. But otherwise, yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, it's not cool about the visa of the US. But, yeah. Cool. People are asking if you're from India, and yes. After the offer, how long? Yeah. So Daniela, really good. You read my mind, Daniela. It's a good question there. How about the relocation? So you got hired. I think it was in December, right? Like end of the year.
Yeah. Yes. So it was exactly December 25th. I confirmed them that
I'm really Christmas.
Yeah.
Oh, so nice.
Yeah, I confirmed that I'm accepting the offer. So yeah, another one thing, I think even I was little kind of hesitant, will I have the ability to do this or not? It's like once I got the offer, I was hesitant whether I will get the power to negotiate it or not. So that was something I was thinking a lot. But to let everyone know, like if you are really good and you have a good communication with the manager or anyone in that company, you do get the opportunity to negotiate, but it's obviously on you. So yeah, it's not like something you cannot do. Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so you did negotiate. You got a little bit of a better offer. That's nice.
Yeah.
Cool. Congrats. And then so that was accepted, but you were in the US. You had to cross a border. COVID, all those things. Yeah. How was this this experience?
Yeah, again, it was very simple, not much of a chaos, I would say. So after I accepted my offer, so I started my paperwork, everything around Jan 7th. I started my paperwork after all the holiday season and everything was over. By Jan 15th, I got my work permit. I mean LMI, to be very clear.
Yes.
So I got, and during this entire process, my employer and the immigration people from VanHack were always in touch with me. Actually, I need to step back a little bit. So even for my paperwork and everything, so there is a good team, immigration team at VanHack who helped me to get all my paperwork done. Whenever I used to have any concerns or problem, they were very quick to respond. I used to set up a 30 minutes meeting with them to go over my documents and make sure I have given all what they're looking for. So that was one of the major thing which I felt really peaceful, that someone is there with me to help. And again, this doesn't involve any fees or any additional money or anything. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, for us, global mobility, immigration, it's a core part of what we do, right? We help people relocate and move across the world. So it is something that we offer kind of as like a bonus, or not a bonus, but like it's part of our service, I should say. So yeah, I appreciate you giving them a shout out. They work super hard. There's a lot of VanHackers relocating right now, like maybe close to 70, 80 or so. Maybe, yeah, a lot. We have probably, yeah, it's been crazy. So yeah, they work hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you got all your LMIA, you got your work permit, and then you had to drive. You drove, right? So you drove from California to Vancouver. How was the drive? How was the border?
Like once I got all my paperwork was done, I was ready to move from US to Canada. Like I drove. So my husband was in Seattle, so Vancouver is just 2 hours from there. So we planned to drive. The entire process again was very smooth. Like even at the border, they asked for a few of the paperwork to just like do check, but they were very sweet to us. They were just asking some general questions, why are you moving to Canada? Where did you get the job? How long do you want to stay? Those very simple questions. And we just stayed in the border for an hour, just so that they can print out, do our background verification, and give me the actual work permit attached to my passport. So yeah, it was very smooth. Nothing drastic that happened. Like only one thing is like we were not aware is like when we were transporting our car from United States to Canada, United States has some laws that that we have to get some number saying that we are exporting our car from US to Canada. That was the only thing, which we also researched and we got to know about it. Nothing any jarring stuff happened. So yeah, like within 2 hours we were in Canada. That's all.
Nice. Cool. So it was harder to bring your car into Canada than it was to bring yourself.
Yeah, we should have actually transported it. I think that would have been way more easier, but it's not something very big thing.
Yeah, it's okay. And you were able to find, like, you're clearly in an apartment there. How was the apartment search and the quarantine? Because you had to stay, right, 2 weeks?
Yeah. So apartment search, like my company was actually providing me providing me a 7-day stay. That was one of the options they gave us. And since my husband also got a job, he also had an option. So he was getting a month of temp stay. So we just kind of aligned on that. And yeah, we stayed. So first thing is like we had to quarantine for 14 days. So we did that. Then we were able to go outside. So yeah, it was pretty straightforward. One of the good thing is like when I was communicating with the immigration lawyer or the consultant, they were giving us all the links, websites, which had a very detailed information, which I created my own checklist and was trying to make sure I have covered everything. So yeah, it's very straightforward.
Okay. And then, yeah, I mean, you had to do the quarantine for 2 weeks. I guess that was a little bit of a pain, but of course, everyone's suffering with COVID. So it wasn't a problem.
I had to do like 3 times COVID test. That is like while exiting from US to Canada, and then at the border, and then after 10 days of quarantine. But all the 3 times it was pretty simple. Not something really bothered us. So for example, in the border, they give a small kit and we take the samples by ourselves and then just give it to them. Same here after the 10-day quarantine. So yeah.
Yeah, nice. I mean, small little inconvenience for a life-changing event. So yeah.
I would not say inconvenience. It's better that they're taking so much test, being very careful. Yeah.
Yes. That's very true. I think that's I agree. Better be safe than sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tiago's asking here a question, just going back a little bit to the offer. So how was your anxiety between the final round and the offer? That's always a nervous time when you've done everything and then you don't know. Were you anxious, excited? Did you have a good feeling or?
Yeah, as I said, like, the company actually offered me with all of their benefits and just my pay slip, like, I mean, the base pay and everything. So I was pretty happy with that, like the numbers, what they gave. Even though after me negotiating, the company gave me links to really see, like, for me it was little shocking, because like the US market versus Canada market, the pay scale would be very different. So for me it was a bit of a research that I had to do, but the people at my company were very transparent, and they shared me link of the pay scales, different pay scales, and said, like, you are falling in this bar, which in where you were on the higher end of the bar. So yeah, it kind of gave me some boost, like, okay, I should just not compare the number in US versus Canada, versus understand how the market works here. But still, I'm really really impressed by the numbers they gave to me.
Nice.
I was really, really happy and excited. And one thing throughout this process is my current company. People are really sweet. They were always in contact with me. They were helping anything if I needed in the process, whether it might be paperwork or when I would be joining. So everything, they were really like a community, I would say.
Yeah. I know your employer well. They're definitely a great group of people. So, yeah, I think you landed in a nice spot. Cool. And so you've been in Vancouver for 3 weeks. So it means you've had like a week or so to enjoy the city. Have you gone for a walk and seen the sights? How is Vancouver going so far?
Yeah. So for me, yeah, it's very beautiful city. It's very scenic. I really enjoy it here. Yeah, I mean, the food scene is really great. I'm getting like good, enjoying different varieties of food. Yeah, it's a very scenic place. Every evening I go for a walk and have a good break from work. Yeah, I've been enjoying it.
Nice. And you live close to the seawall, right? Like going around Stanley Park, beautiful area.
Oh my God, there are a lot of parks. Everywhere they have parks.
Cool. Yeah, for anyone who's curious, you can just Google the city and see more information. There's a lot of great places around the world, but I'm a little bit biased because I grew up here. So. Yeah, cool. Okay, well, a few people are asking kind of this question, like, what do you think that made you successful where maybe other people weren't? Like, what do you think that made you stand out? Do you have any thoughts about this, or kind of like the keys that you had for success?
Yeah, I mean, things where I stood out is like, I actually worked on a lot of personal projects, which I have put it in my GitHub. That kind of stood out. And the other thing is like, I've seen this mostly with the Canadian companies, is like they really like someone who is very proactive and communicative. And making sure, like, for example, when the test was given, when I was taking little extra hours, I kind of emailed them quickly and told them this is where I am at, and I'm working on these extra things. Is it okay if I take a bit of extra hours, like that? So making sure like you're always in touch with them and responding to their emails fast, that's something they really love. And not just in Canadian companies, I think it's a general stuff. Like, people really like if you are in touch with them throughout the process. Yeah, I'd say the other thing is make your technical skills really strong. Whenever any assessment or assignment is given, make sure you give your best over there. One of the things which kind of stood out in my case is like once my assessment was done, I actually recorded a clip and gave it to them so that even though not every employee will get chance to see my code and everything, but they can get a quick glimpse because mine was front end development. I was able to visually record it, so the interaction. So that also as soon as I emailed to my manager, he kind of CC'd everyone in the engineering team and shared my video. So that was something what they enjoyed is what I heard. So
that's really cool. Actually, I've never heard of VanHacker doing that. So you just use like a screen share software like Vidyard or Loom, and
just like your screen recording. Even in Mac, you have your screen.
QuickTime. Yeah. Nice. That's a really, really cool thing. So you recorded and you were kind of talking about this is what I built and why, and like explaining technically the problem you're solving, the approach you took. Oh, very cool, very cool. Huh? Yeah. I mean, everybody, if you're watching this, do that. It's a great idea.
Sometimes I also used to do like while creating my VanHack coding assessment. While working on my VanHack coding assessment, even for that, I took a video. And since these companies already know about VanHack, I also used to show them this assessment as well. So this was like an add-on bonus that, oh, you also did this versus our assessment as well. So, yeah.
Nice. So you have like a repository of different videos of your technical tests. And I think it's important because it gives a context layer that you can't really understand maybe you do, but sometimes things are missed. So really, really cool idea. I think that's something actually where maybe we can add on to people's VanHack profiles one day. Interesting. Okay, cool. Okay, so I think I mean I don't have any other questions. We've covered a lot of ground here, but we do have 15 minutes left. So I want to open the door here for anyone here in the chat to ask questions. There is a virtual recruiting fair, just quickly though. There is a virtual recruiting fair happening in May, so next month in a few weeks. So if you guys want to join an event, get hired like Siri got hired through an event. Actually, I think it's also important to say, because you got two offers, right? You got an offer from an event and just like a regular, virtual process applying for a job board. So both work. It just, the event is a little bit more of a exciting event.
Faster.
Faster. Yeah. So you get to meet a lot of companies in a short amount of time and eventually book some interviews. So cool. I'm glad you enjoyed the session. Our pleasure.
I mean, a few small tips would be like whenever you have like your interviews, I would say like turn on your video so that the interviewer can also see you. Sometimes I've seen people don't turn on their video. That's also that connect would be missing immediately. That would be one thing which I noticed. And also taking it really serious because this really works. So sometimes people just in the mind of confusion, like, will this even work? You kind of neglect the interview rounds or proactively reacting to it. I'd say if you're serious, like you will really get a job if you put in little effort.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's not just a job, right? Like you're getting hired in a new country, new life, everything. So you do have to put some effort into it. And I think if anything I learned from this webinar series, like being proactive and taking that little bit of an extra step, going above what people ask, it makes a huge difference, right? Because everyone's just doing the minimum. And if you do a little bit more, boom, you're different. So for everyone watching this webinar, I think that's a great lesson.
Also, like, I would really suggest people, like, this is my personal experience, like being a premium member, I got a lot of resources and very instant reply to some of my messages in the Slack. I was able to connect to recruiters very fast. Another one tip I want to suggest is, like, once the job listing is there, I used to often apply there. But the other step I used to do is, after applying, if I really liked the job, I'd reach out to that technical recruiter. in the Slack and say like, hey, I'm really interested in this job. Is there any way my profile would be can be shown to the employer? So that is one thing I used to do, and that really helped, because even like we have to think in the terms of the other people. Like even the technical recruiter would be getting hundreds of thousands of profiles, right? How can they even notice our profile? So taking that extra step of reaching out to them and telling them, I really can crack this interview. So that would also help people to very close to get an offer.
Nice, yeah, and all of our recruiters are in the VanHackathon, the free Slack group. Yeah, with them there, you can see who the recruiter is when the job is posted. Oh, say hi to your husband there behind you. Good morning. Don't worry, we can barely see. It's okay. Don't be shy. Yeah, so Siri, is it okay if we share your GitHub? Kitan here is asking for it. Is that okay if we share your GitHub?
The reason I don't share my GitHub link is because the code can be copied. So I have kept, I can share, but few of my projects you would not be able to see, because I've seen when I kept it public, people used to just clone my repository. And, that is one of the issue. But you can surely check it out. I have kept few of the projects open. Okay,
I found it on your VanHack profile here, so I'm just going to share in the chat, so you don't have to search.
Sure.
So yeah, if people are curious, that's what the GitHub is there. And I think that's the problem with GitHub. Like I love GitHub's a great company, etc. But well, I guess now Microsoft, but they have this challenge, right? A lot of, and I think a lot of companies, they have this thing where it's like, oh, I want to see if a candidate has good GitHub profile, but the GitHub profile has to be private because of sometimes legal issues that they just don't want to share. So it's a little bit of a subject. Anyway, it's nice to have a good GitHub profile, but it won't make. I don't think it will be the main factor that decides your interview.
Again, what I do there is like, so all of these video clips which I mentioned, I have the link to share those. So wherever there is a space to add additional information, I just copy those links of my videos. That also gives them a sense of like what they're able to create it. And when they really like it and you have that initial round of conversation, you can tell them that, if you'd like to see the code of this particular project, I can share you. So that's how I used to do.
Interesting. Can you tell me more just about this? Like, do you put it on YouTube? Like, where do you host these videos?
No, I just have like a Google Drive, right?
Okay, upload to Google Drive, share. Got it. Cool.
I didn't even go to the extent of hosting anywhere. It's a very simple, just have a video in my own Google Drive. I just share it through the link.
That's really cool. Maybe we have. I'm kind of thinking out loud here, but every VanHacker can like do a coding test and then make a video about why they wrote that, and then we can upload that to their profiles. So it's actually on the VanHack profile. Interesting. We've been thinking a lot about technical verification, so this could be a good test. Cool. Thanks. And guys, if you would like to do that and have that on your profiles, please let us know. Cool. Okay. What other questions do people have? But someone asked, I remember before a little bit, what was the hardest part? Like, what was the most difficult part of this whole process?
Actually, there was nothing difficult to really be to be really frank. It was nothing difficult. I have not actually received offers so fast anytime in US also when I was working. It typically takes 6 months or so to get a good offer. Everything was very straightforward. The only thing for me was like figuring out, okay, will this work or not? That was the only thing which was in my mind. But once I was the part of the premium and I was able to see like, okay, recruiters are really taking my profile and talking with the employers and doing their steps, because the turnover rate or the reply rate was very fast. Like, let's say I have applied for a job, like within like few hours, the recruiter would reach out to me and ask or have a quick session, is this really interest you? Or they do a match. Everything was pretty quick. So I was gaining my confidence also through that. So yeah, I mean, for example, for the coding assessment test, for creating the VanHack profile, I submitted my test, and like within 3 days I got my score. So it's pretty fast. So
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Well, that's encouraging. So, yeah. Syed is asking a nice question. Are the interviewers cool?
At my company, they were like in general, like with my VanHack experience, every interviewer was very cool. They really hear your side of the story and what kind of experience you have. So yeah, everyone were very good.
Cool. Well, what I wanted to say is, what's the difference between interviews in India and Canada or the US? I saw Arshad asked this question. It's a good one.
I mean, for me, it's a very long time, but I have a little bit of experience I can share. In India, the way I got my job is through on-campus hiring, which we say there, which is like when I was studying my undergrad, companies come to the campus, and then we go through the interview process. Versus in US or Canada, it's a little different. Typically you apply to all the jobs. VanHack is very different, where again it brings people together and makes our process easier. But yeah, that is a typical process.
Yeah, no, that's cool. Thiago's saying the hardest part, in my opinion, is not the test, but to stay calm in English. That what we know is our native language, right? Oh, to say in English what you know in English. So yeah, for Thiago, it's the English part. So if you're not a native speaker, it's difficult to stay calm. For sure. I think it's really hard to work in another language. And yeah, Thiago, I'm cheering for you. Thiago said he has done the final round, and now he's just waiting for a job offer, hopefully. So fingers crossed, Thiago, for you.
Okay, I see Arshad's question actually, which we were just talking about. He wants to know about the difficulty level. Okay, so relating to the difficulty level, like if you have, I mean, it again depends on your background. I would say it is like medium to high, the difficulty level generally. I would say medium is like a good bar to take for, but like for example, again it depends like based on your background. But like for me, let's say for front-end developer, there was a proper technical assessment where coding assessment was given, where they were going through the entire coding, like building of that application. Yeah, I mean, it is not pretty difficult that you can't achieve it, but if you have like good experience in the tech stack you're working, you'd be able to make it.
Nice. Cool question. And then how about the work culture? Like, I'm not sure if you have work experience back in India, but how was that? And also, speaking of that, Shri Kant is asking about the accent.
Okay.
So,
what about accent though?
How to interview? Are interviewers able to follow it? Like, did you ever have issues where interviewers weren't understanding you? I'm guessing no, because your English is very clear. But yeah.
I mean, people, even though like whether it might be in US and Canada, there are a lot of people, they work with are from different backgrounds and ethnicities, and they have an ability to understand how we are able to communicate. Sometimes if they really feel that they are not understanding, they would ask to repeat yourself or kind of slow it down.
Yes.
But they put that effort to really understand you, because they really know that you are coming from a different background. So that's there. In my case, it really didn't, that there was really not a problem. But people take the effort to understand you. So it's not like if you have an accent, people just ignore, or that's a negative factor. It's like both ways. You also try to improve a little bit versus, and the other side of the interviewer would also try to understand you.
Yeah, and one of our values at VanHack is code. Code has no accent, so I know English sometimes in different languages, but when, if you can speak JavaScript or Python, clean. Cool. How about work culture? How do you feel about this culture at your company versus culture back in India? Is there a difference?
In India, everyone was Indian. So the culture there is little different versus in Canada. It's really different. I really like in Canada. That's my personal preference because I love working with diverse culture people. It's very cool. People listen to you, and they're very open to know about you, or just anything in general or normal. Work wise, people are very disciplined, and they expect you take the ownership and really work towards it. No one pushes here to you to finish a task. They would expect that you finish it by yourself, and that's the basic discipline they expect, right?
Nice. That's great to hear. And I think one thing you also mentioned about is the diversity. I think that's really important to say. Like Canada, we're a country of immigrants. You guys maybe don't know I'm an immigrant. I moved here when I was 5. And that's something that we celebrate a lot in Canada. Like, we have people from different parts of the world. You talk about food. We have restaurants from everywhere. And it's not like, what is Canadian food, right? Like bacon, I don't know, poutine. It's the world food, right? So this is a kind of a reflection of our culture in general. I think people, it's one of the benefits of being here is that you have this diversity and multiculturalism, and people really go out of their way to make people who are, different, which I don't even know what that means. Like we're all different, feel comfortable. So I think people should be aware of that. And also if there's any problems, you should definitely bring that up too. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah, that's true.
Mark is asking a cool technical question. As a front-end dev at our company, are you involved in setting up environments like AWS or Azure? So do you have any experience with the cloud, or is it more just front-end?
No, it's front end. I don't set up any environment for AWS or Azure. So one good part about my this job is I actually got an opportunity to work as a full stack engineer over here, which I was looking for a long while. What happened is once I did my master's and I got job, most of my work kind of came as a front-end developer. It's not my first choice that I wanted to work as a front-end developer. I entered as a general software engineer, but the tasks which were assigned to me was on that side. And every time I used to kind of struggle that I'm not getting a full stack engineer experience. And while interviewing at my current company, I put that out that, I would love if there is a space where I can grow myself, not just as a front-end developer, but as a full stack engineer. And they were pretty open to that. And not many companies actually do that. But my current company was very open, and they encourage people who love to learn and grow themselves. So I believe once I get good expertise as a full stack engineer, maybe I would be, that next step would be setting up the AWS and the Azure environment.
That's awesome. I do have one last question because I know we're kind of at time. You have to get to work, although your commute is probably just changing tabs, right?
Yes.
I love it. Last question is what about the technical challenges that you're working on right now? Like how you mentioned a little bit about being more full stack, but can you just give us the most, without giving too much details if it's private, but technically, what are the challenges you're working on? Tell us about that.
Some technical challenges, I'm actually pretty much comfortable with the front-end development at this point of time. For me, the technical challenging part is to understand the backend side of it. So I'm learning the Python and Django framework, so understanding how that works. So that's where I am facing a little of challenges. But whenever I kind of get stuck, my team members are really great at unblocking me. They explain me what's going on, and that's how I'm learning. So Nothing much.
So what are you building though? Like what's the current project you're working on? Like is it
Oh,
yeah.
so mine is a product-based company. So we like okay. I mean, so we don't have like a project. We have features because whatever feature we release, it shows on the .com of their page.
Yeah.
So the crux is like I am actually, so the application where I'm working is making sure the like actually it's in the context of that. I don't know how much I can explain that.
Sure, no problem. But it's
I
fun.
mean, it will take longer for me to explain, so that's why I didn't want it to. But in terms of challenges, like building an application, which is okay. One quick example I can give is like I'm working on search engine optimization. So making sure whatever in the Google searches. The inputs are given, our website kind of crawls, like it in the Google search result, our website shows up on the top. That is
Nice.
one of the things
Nice.
we are working on.
That's
to just
cool.
give
That's
a
cool.
summary.
Yeah, it's always good to hear what VanHackers are building, right, and the impact that you guys have or that people have. So awesome. We'll let you get to work, Siri. Say hi to Justice, Vinod, Anastasia, Ben, and Louis for me. And Zio too. I met her recently on the channel. Have a really, really great rest of your day. Congratulations on being the 1,000th VanHacker hired. Right now, actually, everyone, just for you guys to know, we're at like 1,300 or 1,100, not 300. Any final words, Siri, before we
start? I want to really thank you, Ilya. Like you made one of my dream come true. I can't thank you enough. I remember even when I got the offer, I had so many questions. I was chatting, pinging Ilya. I know like he's the CEO of the company, but still I was like, I have questions. Someone needs to answer me. And he was so fast in responding that we had a quick video chat, and I was talking to him, and he was like, comforting me that, this is a good pay, everything would be good. So that kind of was really warm feeling for me. So me and my husband are really happy that we moved to Vancouver, and very glad that happened through VanHack. So
it's warms my heart. Thank you for sharing that. And it's not just me; it's the entire team. We have Fernanda here and many other people. We're really happy for you and everyone here who's on the webinar. Thank you for sharing your time with us. Please tell your friends about VanHack, and we'll see you at the next webinar. Siri, have a fantastic day, and we'll talk soon.
Sounds good. Bye.
Bye, everyone.